Can you tell us your first name and your age?
My name is Jonah. I'm 30 years old.
What does it mean to be you?
To be me is an experiment. I think to be oneself is sort of a lifelong project. As a really religious person, it's a very spiritual project for me. I think that at the core of myself, just like every other living thing, is a kind of divinity. So to be me is something that I'm finding out more about every day.
What does it mean to be perfect?
In my religious tradition, there is this idea that human beings are all striving onward towards perfection. The way that I interpret that and the way that I interpret perfection isn't like a sustained perfection. It's moments of pure being, or moments of being fully alive and fully present to the people around us. So perfection isn't something that we attain and then have forever. Perfection is something that we get glimpses of in our life, in ourselves, in the people that we love. And so perfection is something fleeting, but really, really beautiful.
What does it mean to be 30?
Oh, to be 30 means I finally made it out of my 20s. My 20s were rough. My teens were rougher. So I feel like, onward and upward.
What does it mean to be kind?
For too much of my life, my thought about what it meant to be kind was what I could do to make someone feel okay. But that's not always kind, because there are times when we don't feel okay for good reasons. I think kindness is showing up for people and just really being with them and doing your best to provide them with what they need.
What does it mean to be a friend?
I think being a friend is about being with someone. And not just with someone like you're there and they're there, but attending to what's going on with them. So I think a friend is somebody who makes you feel not alone.
What does it mean to be successful?
To me, being successful is about leading the kind of life that is fulfilling. It's building a life for myself that I look forward to when I wake up. It's wanting to go to work or wanting to spend time with the people in my life. Success is about feeling like I am the kind of person that I want to be.
What does it mean to be confident?
I don't know what it means to be confident, but I think I know how to fake it pretty well. To be confident, I guess, is to not spend so much time in your head that you lose what you're doing out in the world.
What does it mean to be present?
I'm working on that question in my life. I think maybe presence and confidence have a lot in common in that way. When I'm not present, I know it's because I'm stuck in the past or worry about the future. I get withdrawn into myself instead of being connected. So I think to be present is really to be alive and connected with the world around me.
What does it mean to be human?
To be human is to be flawed and divine. Human beings are so fascinating to me. As a clergy person, I've spent a lot of time talking with people about the nature of humanity. And so many people want to focus on the flawed nature of humanity, which I will not deny, being human myself. But what I love is this beautiful mixture of flaw and creativity and divinity, and the power that human beings have to draw on this incredible well of spiritual richness. And so to be human is to be connected both to our limitations and to our infinite potential.
What does it mean to be in love?
To be in love makes me shy, makes me excited, makes me blush and long to be with the person that I'm in love with. To be in love means that my brain is awash in oxytocin. But I think to be in love for me means to be so connected to another human being that I grow beyond myself.
What does it mean to be an adult?
There's no such thing. To be an adult is to be a liar. it turns out that like no one's adulting very well. Adult is a fictional character, and what we really would better spend our energy on is trying to be human well.
What does it mean to be lucky?
I don't know, but I am. Which is stupid because a lot of terrible things have happened in my life, but I feel lucky anyway. So I think to be lucky is less of a reality and more of a feeling of being connected to all the things in life that matter to you and all the things that make everything okay. Because there's a lot that's horrible. And so I think to be lucky is to be someone who can feel the goodness in the midst of all of the crap.
What does it mean to be a family?
I love this question. Family's hard. And we've been taught that family is related to our blood more than anything else. And it's not. I could not disagree more. Family is a choice. As a queer person, as a trans person, and as a Christian, all of those things in different ways have taught me that family is chosen. And some of us have to fight harder to find and choose our family. And some of us find family in those relationships that are genetic or biochemical or whatever. But family is the people who you choose to do life with, who will have your back and whose back you have. Family are the people that you love.
What does it mean to be popular?
That was a question I found myself asking a lot more when I was about 14. I couldn't really come up with a good answer then, because it didn't always even seem to be that people liked you. Because I knew a lot of very popular people who were unliked. So I think, in retrospect, to be popular is to be powerful. To be popular is to have a following. And it is a real mixed bag. I'm not sure that popular is the thing to strive for.
What does it mean to be proud?
Proud and pride are two words that have been really prominent in my life, coming from two very different circles. Evangelical Christianity has a lot to say about pride, but so does the queer community. What I have learned is that you can have pride and be proud, but not be prideful. Which is to say, the people who seem most deeply proud of themselves and of their community and their identity are people who are also very humble. And people who are prideful, who put themselves above others and lack humility, tend to actually have a lot of shame. So I think to be proud is to let go of the shame of who we are, which humbles us because we see how proud we can be of one another too.
What does it mean to be free?
It's interesting to answer that question right after talking about being proud and feeling shame. Because I think we're captive to different things. But most people I know are captive to shame of some kind. That's probably another central part of religious life for me, is seeking freedom. There's a lot of language of the bondage of sin and those kinds of things. And that's been attached to all kinds of stuff that doesn't resonate with me. What does resonate with me is feeling shackled by shame or by convention or by the expectations of other people. To be free is to be fully oneself, not in a way that's hurtful or that inhibits other people's ability to be free, but that's collaborative, to be oneself with others, to be able to not compartmentalize, but to be whole. And to be whole as a person, but also whole as a community. That's freedom.
What does it mean to be a role model?
I worry about that question because I know that I'm kind of a public figure as a pastor. I'm certainly someone that my nephews look up to. And so I've never really thought of myself as role model material. But it's easier for me to think about the role models in my life and the people that I look to. And the role models that I value are people who can be trusted. I think a role model is somebody who lives the way that you seek to live, so it's sort of different person to person.
What does it mean to be safe?
I don't know that I can answer that question. There are so many ways to go with it. Safety isn't something I've always necessarily valued. I think that that's because there have been times when I've equated safety with complacency or a sort of timid comfort. And I tend to be a risk taker. On the other hand, safety as a sense that one will fundamentally be okay is crucial to being alive. And a lot of us have been robbed of that. And it's killing us. To not feel safe is to not feel whole. And if part of the human project is to feel whole and free, then we can't do that without feeling safe. So for me, and I think for many of my communities, safety, more than anything else, is elusive.
What does it mean to be happy?
I try not to ask myself that question. I think I've been fed an idea of happiness that's kind of misleading. That to be happy is to always feel happy or feel good or feel an elevated sense of mood. To be joyful is a question that I sometimes substitute because in my own brain, just that little flip of the word totally reframes things for me. Because if I try and seek happiness, I'm going to fail most of the time. But if I try to seek joy, which is sort of a deep connection to the goodness in my life and in the people around me, and the hope that good things will continue to come, then I can be joyful even in the midst of pain. I can be joyful even when I can't be happy. And there have been a lot of times when I've been unhappy, so I'd rather seek joy, I guess.
What does it mean to be a survivor?
To be a survivor means to live to fight another day. I think we stop surviving when we can't fight back anymore against the things that hurt us or the world. And our fight might look different. For me, the fight is in the streets protesting, or the fight to remain present in the company of the people I love and not withdraw and not close myself off. So to survive is to keep living in the face of death or oppression or fear.
What does it mean to be home?
I think to be home is to feel known. To be home is to be connected, not to feel like you're walking into some alien other space, but rather to be home is to be welcomed, to be known, to be seen, and to know and see the space and human beings around you, and to feel intimate closeness with that space, with those people, and with yourself.